Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. This is Sweet as Honey, and I'm with the RVRF Fishing. And today I have a wonderful story to share with you about Japan and Ine Funaya. Let's go here. So excited to share this folklore with you. I don't know if many people of you have actually heard of this folklore, but this village, I really suggest that you go to YouTube or just Google this location, and you will see that this looks exactly like as you see it here. It's actually really even more spectacular and beautiful. And what makes this location so wonderful and unique, and probably why the devs put this location here, is Ine Funaya is really a small fishing village. Ine means Funa means like village, like fishermen's, and these here are all, of course, fishermen here. That's what they do. This is their livelihood. It's down by Kyoto, Japan. To get to this little village, you literally have to take 3 trains and a bus ride. It's hours and hours to get to this little village. And you can actually do an Airbnb here to stay. It's really interesting. And I'm going to speak more on, like, when you get out to the bay out there, like how gorgeous it is. And back here is a little village. As you walk back behind here, there's a little town here. It's just really interesting. One of the things I found really funny was watching one of the Americanized people were doing a YouTube video, and they had these huge, they call them wharf cockroaches, that are outdoors here, and they're like, the last thing you want is them not to get into your house that you're staying in. So it's really gorgeous here. But the reason why I brought you here is there is a folk story about a man. His name is Urasima Tarõ, and it's really a great little folk story that I want to tell you about. So Urasima Tarõ was very young, and he was an amazing fisherman, probably one of the best fishermen there was. But there was something a little bit more unique about Urasima Tarõ, was that he had the kindest heart of all. And one day he came upon some children who was being very cruel to a tortoise. They were just really torturing this tortoise, and he just told them, asked them to please stop, and he finally convinced them, by offering them some money to leave that poor tortoise alone. And he saved that tortoise, and he sent that tortoise off on its own, back out into the water to save it. Well, the next morning he gets up into his boat, and he's out there in the bay, and along he hears somebody yell his name, Urasima! Urasima! And there was that tortoise. And he asked that tortoise, was that you calling my name? And he said, yes. And he was like, come with me. And so as the story goes on, he gets on the back of the tortoise's back, and the tortoise takes him underneath the sea to the Dragon Palace. Now, the Dragon Palace down there was a young little empress woman, a princess, I guess you can call her. And she wanted to thank him for saving the tortoise's life and being so kind. And so for 3 days, Urasima stayed down there, and he partied. And from what I'm hearing from other folk stories, there was this huge wedding, and, it was a party the whole time down at this Dragon Palace underneath the ocean there. But he started to miss his family because his mother was ill. And one thing about, the Japan families here, the younger generation take care of their older. And so he wanted to go back home. He missed his mother. And so she was sorry to see him to leave. But, what she did was she gave him this magical box. And the one thing that she told him was, do not open this box, but it is to protect you. So he takes the box and hastily leaves, and he tells her, I promise I'll return, I'll come back for you. So he comes back to the village, and when he returns, his home is gone. It's not here, and his mom's not here, and the people are no longer the same that was here before, and he's confused. He doesn't understand because to him, he was only gone for 3 days. And so he starts asking around, does anybody know Urasima Tarõ? And that's when they tell him, oh my goodness, that individual 300 years ago was lost to sea. He left and never came back, and his poor mom grieved to death and everything. And Urasima he was devastated. I mean, he did not realize that, like, for 300 years he had been gone, and he thought it was only 3 days. He didn't realize it was so long. And so during this process of grieving, he went in and he opened up that box, and a cloud of smoke puffed open. And when it did, it turned him into an aging old man with a growing white beard, and then eventually he succumbed to death. So the moral of the story is, as we go into this, there's like the plot and everything, and it does give, like, the moral of the story is always be kind, and keep your promises is one thing. Is always keep your promises. It's a great little story here. You can read it here. There's also a YouTube version of the film. So when you're actually fishing here, just note that there is the sea turtles. There's always a significant to sea turtles here, and Urasima Tarõ. But again, I would suggest that you look at YouTube and also look at the beauty of this location. One more fun fact about this location is, out of all the places in Japan, this village has been here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and these homes have withstood lots of things that most places in Japan don't when it comes to typhoons and things like that. But this little village still is here, after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's amazing, just a beautiful little place to look at. So again, my name is Sweet as Honey. I do want to thank you. I hope that you learned a little something special about the spot, that when you come here to visit, it makes it a little bit more interesting while you're fishing here. All right, remember to always keep it sweet, and if you like the video, like it and subscribe.